Well, some stuff. This is like a little segue, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
I forgot to mention to you guys on the show that I starred in a video.
That's right.
I acted in a video. Now, Paul Gervasi, who was a very
Almost
short
guessed.
guest, an almost guest of ours. Unfortunately, he lives like up in the desert pretty much, and the video just wasn't working trying to interview him. He did a documentary called The Charvel Gang, which is pretty cool that you guys should go check out on YouTube. If you're into 80s guitars and stuff, he tells the story of Charvel. Please go check that out. Super cool guy, and he's done all kinds of other projects too. Plus, he's a musician, and for some reason, when I met him, it was actually when we played. I think it was when we played the whiskey or the rainbow party. We played a rainbow party or something like 2 years ago, and I happened to meet Paul in the parking lot when Susan and I got there. We just kind of connected. He was like, "Hey, man, do you need a hand with your stuff?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I need a hand with my stuff." And then I got him and his friends into that gig, and it just all worked out. We've kind of stayed friends. And flash forward, he calls me recently and goes, "Hey, I have a client. I'm shooting a video for her, and they want to do a deal where the band in the video is like a younger version of them, because the singer, who I'll tell you her name, excuse me, Susie Wilson." Okay,
are these pictures of her too? God, she's fucking smoking.
Okay, well, now hang on a second. So when he first, before you post any of these,
I haven't put
what you're about to post, we'll show this as we go. Just get it loaded up.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know anything at this point except that he says he thinks I would be good to have a good image for what they're looking for, to be a guitar player in this video. So I basically would be acting, if you will.
Okay.
Actor now.
Yes.
So he lands on a number of compensation, and it was like, at least 2 or 3 times more than I would get delivering flowers on that particular day.
Right,
so
sure.
I go, okay, man. I didn't act too excited about it, and I think he wanted me to be, but I was just like, didn't know where it was going to be. He wasn't giving me enough details, and I wasn't really certain if I wanted to do this or not. But I do trust him, and I know who he is. I've seen his work, and so as a friend, I was leaving myself open to it. It was more as a friend that I was even doing that. But he did the day before finally go, okay, here's the deal on the shoot. It's going to be in Huntington Beach, which is not too far. It's like about an hour north of and show up, he had me bring the Bow Wow Wow guitar.
Okay, yeah, the big
that we always joke about.
Yeah.
The old Gretsch, right?
The old Gretsch,
he thought that would be good for this. And he did send me the track. And, the singer, Susie, she's like almost like maybe a Kim Carnes or a, and this lady is, her career, she's been doing this a long time.
Sure.
But to give the songs a chance, she wanted to do a video where she had a younger person portraying her, basically. And she had apparently got Paul to this is his client now is her. She has paid him to make this video. He had a little bit of a budget. So that's the backstory. And that's all I really knew. But then the day before, he gives me the details. He goes, and this is going to be your co-star. And he sends me some picture. I'm like, well, Susan's not going to like that very much. And that was the first thing I said. And I go, we'll just have to see how this goes. So I head up there and I meet the actress he has, and her name, so people can know, is Cody Renee Cameron.
Okay.
And this woman, I don't know how old she is exactly. I would guess like late 20s, early 30s, somewhere around there. Now she's done some stuff. I was like, he told me she was on Breaking Bad. If you've seen the Breaking Bad movie El Camino.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, apparently she's in that. We'd have to watch it and see where she is in that. But
she's restaurant employee number 3.
She is restaurant employee number 3. She's like, so I heard the Breaking Bad thing. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's really all I knew about. Now, it wouldn't have mattered to me if the real Susie was there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I was going to go up and do this either way. He sent that, and I more looked at it like, well, that's just going to be a bummer because my chick's not going to like this at all.
Sure.
That's like,
I can see why.
Well, so we go up there, and he's like, so did you learn the song? Did you learn it? And I was like, learn it? Like, what do you mean? Like, what, we're like recording it or something? Like,
Yeah,
you
you're
just
just
want me
gonna
to act in here,
you're
right? We'll have to
faking it,
actually like,
right?
we're faking it, right? Like, he's like, but yeah, but I want it to be real, I want it to look, and I'm like, okay. So we like kind of sat there for a minute, and I kind of like learned the chords for it or whatever. It wasn't,
Right.
very complex. The one time I had heard it, I knew it wasn't very complex. I knew we'd have
Right.
time because,
Sure.
you shoot these things a couple times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now this was being shot at the guy who was portraying the bassist. His name, excuse me, was Rick Paddock, and this was
Okay.
his home, and he's a friend, I guess, of Paul's. And
Sure.
now this video, the basic idea of it, that it was going to take place back in the 70s or something like that. And they
Okay.
really did he picked a good neighborhood. This neighborhood that Rick lives in totally looks like straight out of the 70s. I was getting
Right.
full on. It was taking me back in time, just being in this
Sure.
neighborhood for some reason. Even the cars around there didn't look new or anything. And
Okay.
so this was where we were doing it. And then inside, there were some scenes that I wasn't there that were going to be filmed where they laid out shag carpet like the 70s, and he had the rotary phone there and had rigged up a curly cable thing to look like a
Right.
phone, and they were going to do some scenes with her in there. That did kind of give porno vibes, like there was going to be a porno shot there. I'm not going to lie. But I was like, oh, okay. But it turns out what Paul's plan was for us to shoot this outside. He wanted to do a moving shot, like U2
Sure.
or something, we're
Right.
like going through the neighborhood. So we're basically, there's this neighborhood had like a street that just went in a big
Right.
circle. And so we were like
Let me stop you right here just
Okay.
for a question or two into this.
Sure, please do.
Since you're doing this, how many times have you done videos or camera work before this? I know you obviously have, 10 miles wide, that video shoot. Is that the
That's
only
the
other
biggest
time?
one I've done. The
Okay.
10 miles wide was the biggest one that had like an actual crew of people there and stuff like that. That was
Right.
definitely the biggest one. I've done smaller ones where that Steven's done, where like right when I joined the band maybe, and he had actually
Okay.
recorded some demos, like for example in like Pink. That was something where he literally put a camera up on a ladder, and we went to like some rehearsal place in Hollywood and just like rented a small room, and we pulled in. It doesn't look that bad, believe it or not. The
No.
In Like Pink video doesn't look terrible to me,
But that ain't like this.
right. But even this, I was kind of laughing because it was that same guerrilla video shoot.
I
There
mean, was it
wasn't.
iPhones or was it actual
No.
cameras or?
No, he had a camera, but he was like doing everything pretty much himself. You know what I
Okay.
mean? He had
Right.
he had rigged this thing where it went around. He looked like he was a concession guy at the ballpark or
Okay.
something. Like he had that thing going, like
Nice.
you'd sell
Yeah.
cigarettes or popcorn. Get your popcorn here, get your videos here. But anyways, he had like a camera rig to that, and now I trust him. I've watched his work, and it's pretty good.
Sure.
So I just kind of went, okay, I'll do, we'll do what he says. And so I also wanted to know, like, how long do you need me here? Because
Right.
I know what you're paying me. I appreciate it, but I don't want this to be like an 8-hour.
Yeah, you don't want it to be for $3 an hour either.
Right, right. If it's there for 3 days, that's exactly 10 cents an hour, and that
Right.
doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he really only needed me for about 2 hours, which was freaking,
Okay.
and that was including the time to kind of go over the song and and then we went out there. We went around the neighborhood like 4 times. There would be cars coming,
Right.
like car, like back in the that was like back in the 70s.
Right.
So we'd move out of the way. People didn't know what was going on. They just see me like walking. I got my guitar, got this actor's coat. We could start showing some of this stuff. I mean,
Sure. I don't know which is one
Okay,
of these
now-
is one of these the actual actress and the other one is the
okay, I think I put a bad and a good right now. The girl that I saw is the one that I labeled Good Cody because when I met her, this just looked like a nice girl, like from next door or something like that.
See, neither of them is labeled for me. I've got Cody. I've got the two pictures, one in the white shirt and the other not in the white shirt.
Right. The one not in the white shirt is the one you might want to hold on for a second. No, show the
Okay.
first one. Show the first
All right,
one.
let's see. So let's see.
Because this is kind of similar to probably how. Right. Now that's pretty much the girl that I met, and she had showed up, and they had wardrobe for her, which was like 70s kind of onesie or something that, she
Sure.
was wearing. Actually, like the first thing he put on her thought looked too sexy. And he actually dressed her down a little bit. He didn't want it to
Okay.
be, because she's supposed to be portraying a younger Susie Wilson. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and so the look that she had just looked like, an average girl from the 70s,
From the block. Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't spend time looking people's shit up. I got other things to do. You know what I
Right.
mean? He mentioned Breaking Bad. I never looked her up beside that picture. He goes, "Hey, this is your co-star," and he sent me some picture where she was in a bathing suit, maybe, or something. But I was like I told you, seemed like more of a headache. So I get down there, she's there. I'm actually going out of my way not to talk to her.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to seem like I care, because I have a girlfriend. I really don't want any trouble with this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
You just want to go make your money, do a little shoot, have some fun, and out.
right, and let's get this done. And so I really was just, if anything, just being polite. I did not go up and try to talk to her at all. But here we are, we're out in the street, and he wants to do a shoot where she's in front, she's singing, and I'm like right kind of behind her. And you'll see this, because if we pull up the link, it'll show a little preview of this video, because I believe it comes out tomorrow.
Sure.
And they can see this. It's kind of funny now that I've laid out the background of us being outside. I also have the top of my head did not have any sunscreen on. I ended up getting sunburnt this day. I didn't know it was going to be outside like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And here we walked around that block like a good 4 or 5 times
for an hour. Right.
So here's a little preview, I guess he put out the other week, and you could see
all right. So
us
here's
walking down the street.
Here's Erik in the new Susie and the Substitutes video.
Right.
Here we go. So there you are.
So
rock star.
There it is. So, I mean, that was pretty much it. Now, what's funny is, like, even that little thing there, we had already shot it like 6 times. He wanted to do one where it was like, interact more together, get a little closer there,
How much more closer does he want you to get? You're
right. I'm like, hey, hello. So her little fringes were smacking me in the face.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
ordinary smack in the face.
I was gonna say, you're right up on top of her.
Well, then he's like, hey, bump into each other, have some fun, and and whatever. And then he actually used that little snippet for this preview. So
right.
But now I'm in Tucson, and I get tagged in the video or whatever, so I have to put the thing in the Facebook.
Sure.
And so my girl at home at first liked it. She saw it. She goes, "Oh, this is great."
Sure.
But when I wrote, "Hey, I got to be in this video," and I hyperlinked Cody's Facebook, because so check this out. Like 2 days after the shoot, I get a friend request from this actress, Cody. She sends me a Facebook, and I took it more as a professional, because I really didn't talk to her. And I mean, she I don't know, just for networking purposes, who knows? She sent me the thing, and what am I going to do? Not deny it? I accepted it.
Yeah.
Haven't talked to her or anything. She just whatever, and we're all tagged in the promo for this thing together. Well, apparently Susan clicked on it and went to her page. Now let's see the other picture.
The other picture?
The other picture of Cody. Okay. This is the part where my weekend gets ruined.
Girlfriend doesn't like this photo for some reason?
Well, there's ones equally as provocative of that, if not more. Like, and I don't, I don't judge anyone, for what she's in Hollywood right now. She's trying to make it. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Hollywood is a place for beautiful women to be hired as actresses or whatever. And if that doesn't work out, there's always the porn industry.
That's
right.
And
I don't see that she's an adult film star from what I can see, but she might have done some Playboy stuff. I never had dug into that, but I never dug into any of that. But Susan did. Okay. She found all these, what was really lame was like she started just like what do you call it when you just repeatedly send photos of somebody to somebody, like, look at this and this and this. It was like, it was like one after the
She
other.
was just spamming you photos.
Spamming me. Thank you. That was the word I was thinking about. She starts spamming me all these Cody pictures that I really have never seen before in my life. And I was like, that's that nice girl that I met at the thing. You know, like but anyways, oh my God, she was so mad about it.
But what did you do? You didn't do nothing wrong. You fucking made you're in. Does she not look? I don't want to hammer on your girl, so I'm going to say this as politely as I can.
Right.
You're in the fucking entertainment business.
Right.
Sometimes in the entertainment business, you are going to brush up against hot chicks.
Sure.
That's part of. And let's be even more clear. You're in the entertainment business primarily with a guy known for the 3 P's. One of those P's being pussy. And now I'm not being polite, but I'm being honest. That if you go and read Steven's book, it says what? Pussy, party, and paycheck.
Sure. And I understand that's where some of the insecurity might lie, because that is what we were about. He and I for a long time, you know, he had already kind of mellowed out because he was married. Yeah. Steven was married by the time I got into the band 22 years ago. So he wasn't partaking in that, but I was now carrying the torch that he had passed on to me for
but
a good amount of time in the band, but not anymore. Not anymore now.
No, but I mean, the bigger issue though is not what you are or not doing. Look, and again, you've heard me on the CMS just rail about this kind of shit all the time. She either trusts you or she doesn't. And if she doesn't, and if she doesn't, she needs to say, okay, we're done and be done, because fucking being in a relationship without trust is the dumbest shit in the world. It's just a formula for anger. It's just a formula for anger.
You know what? I kind of agree with that, but it's not so easy sometimes. You know what I mean? When you meet people and you meet somebody good, people make it sound like so easy just to meet somebody else, and it's not.
No, I don't disagree with you.
Not everybody can put up with me. I mean, she puts up with me. Okay, but a lot of shit from me.
Which means, you know what? The flaws that you do have should be the fights that you have, not the flaws that you don't have.
Well, I agree with that. These hypothetical things are ridiculous and they really stress me out. And, but I think that, you know, her imagination with some of the stuff runs away with her. You know what I mean?
That's all chicks. I hate to I hate to be broad brush painter guy, but that's all. Dude, my ex-wife, I kid you not. And I don't like to throw her under the bus a ton. I really don't, because we actually do get along. You know, we get along better than we did when we were married, but she used to just imagine shit, straight up imagine shit. She would say, like, I had an advertise. I used to own a music magazine called Music's Bottom Line 20 years ago, whatever. And I had this one advertiser. The name of the store was Disc Den. It was a record and tape store, you know, a music store, buy music store. And
buy music store?
Where you would buy music, where you'd buy the
I thought you meant like bisexual.
No, not that.
Okay. Sorry.
No, this is before that. This was before that was a thing.
Well, I'm like, you're really cutting edge back then, Chris. You had the first
No. It was just a regular old music store, but not an instrument store. Buy, you know, where you buy the new Metallica or whatever. So this guy, he loved the fact that you know me, I'm a twisted fuck and I have a dirty sense of humor. Right. He loved that. And he would never give me any guidance other than make an ad that will make people go, holy shit. You know, that's all he wanted from me was, and I did some really radical shit. Like I put a picture of Kurt Cobain once on a thing, and I superimposed with Photoshop a bullet right in the middle of his head, or a bullet hole in his head. And I wrote a tagline, you need to shop at other stores like you need and it just read dots right to the hole in his head. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of the, you know, and it definitely made a mark. You know, people were talking about it. And that was the thing. So one time I put a sexy picture of Mariah Carey, back when Mariah Carey was like at her smoking hottest. So I just put this Mariah Carey thing up on, and I forget, I don't even remember what the
Can we put Cody away for a second? Can we put Cody away for a second? Because
I'm still looking.
I don't need to get in trouble for that too now. Come on.
Well, but so I put up this Mariah Carey thing, and it said something like if you shop at Disc Den, your voice will sound higher, just like if you were with
Mariah.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of the joke, the catchphrase, blah blah blah. She got fucking bananas with me. And she's ready to leave me. She was like, I came home, no lie. I come home from work because I was working a day job and then doing the magazine at night. Come home, there's fucking 500 copies of the magazine all cut up in my fucking floor. And it was all about, you just want that. That's what you want. You don't love me. You love that. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I got paid to make that.
Right.
You know,
that's what I said too.
That was my thing. And it's like, you know, in my entire marriage, I never cheated. And I say that almost regretfully at this point, because now, especially the way it worked out, I wish I would have been, when I was getting offered blowjobs for fucking concert tickets and shit, I should have taken them. You know, because look at how it ended up. We ended up broke up anyway.
And they're accusing you anyway, right?
Yeah, and that was it, dude. There's another time. I'll tell one more of these. I won't get into, since I'm beating on the wife anyway here, the ex-wife here with this. This was back in the MySpace days. I get home, I come in the door and I get slapped. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, what is that about? You were hosting a wet t-shirt contest. I was like, what are you talking about? So she goes to my MySpace, and in the MySpace, not my pictures, but like the MySpace timeline or whatever, was pictures of Billy Morris. You know, Billy from Warren fame.
Sure.
Well, Billy's one of my closest friends. There was pictures of Billy having a wet t-shirt contest at the club that he owned at the time. And there was a fat guy that was there as one of the judges. So I look at this thing and I'm like, that's not me, you know? And she's like, yes, that's you. And I look and this was the old days. It was before phone pictures. It was when you would take a picture and you would scan it and then you would post it on the scan. Well, the picture had the date on the picture.
Right.
And so I pointed that out to her. I said, look, here's the date. I was in fucking Houston with work on that date.
Right.
So she's like, well, you would have been there. And I was like, well, wait a minute. So now I'm in trouble for what you think I would have done. Not what I did do.
Right.
What I hypothetically might have done.
Sure.
Hadn't done. And I was in the doghouse for that. And I was like,
well, we've had some things that occurred that were I like cheated on or anything, but it was just like the fact that I was in association with a gaggle of people or was somewhere, you know, that sort of thing. It's you know, they get nervous because the thing is, when you really love somebody, you're afraid that you're going to lose them to somebody. So if you see them around people that seem like they, you know, could compete with you looks wise, or maybe you're younger or something, you get insecure. You know, it happens.
I hear you, but I don't hear you, because I'm going to tell you now, I could not be in a relationship with anybody I do not trust.
Right.
I couldn't do it. And maybe it's because I got burned by it, because my ex cheated on me, you know, because she went and started fucking her boss. And, you know, and that was after.
I'm with you, bro.
And that was after me hearing about it for fucking years.
You and I are dead inside. You and I are dead inside.
Yeah, we are.
But I'll tell you, no, I very much so trust my girlfriend. I trust her 100%, but but she just doesn't trust me. So there's that. That's where we're at. So that's why we're still together.
And dude, I'm telling you, we're kindred spirits here, because I trusted her implicitly.
Okay.
I trusted her to the level, my neighbor across the street, 2 months before we actually broke up, pulled me aside one day and said, dude, I don't know how to tell you this, but I saw Georgetta making out with some dude at a restaurant. And I just was like, oh, no, come on, no way. She's the church lady. She goes to church Wednesdays and Sundays and works at, there's no way, cheat. No, of course not. Right until it happened. Right until it happened. And then it was like, what the fuck? How could it not be me? Honestly, I went through that in my head. Yeah. How could it not be me? Because I'm the scumbag of the two. It should have been me. And instead it wasn't. And it's like, you know, and that's why now, forever and a day, I'll never get married. I will never buy another wedding ring. And that's why, because I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself to make a smart enough pick of somebody that won't cheat and won't fucking break my trust. Because even in the divorce, I wasn't mad that she took a dick. I was mad that she fucking broke the trust. I felt like she owed me more than that. She owed me to just say, look, I'm done with you.
Right.
Now I'm going to go and get into another relationship. And I didn't get that. Yeah, and I didn't get that. And it fucking still burns me up. 10 years later, I'm still mad about it.
It's a tough, relationships are tough, man. I've never,
they are.
Most of the ones where I've lived with the person haven't even lasted this long. So
sure.
But we're still hanging in there. It's been like 3 years. I've been living here for about like 8 or 9 months here at the beach. And,
sure.
You know, it's been an adventure, and we met during COVID.
Sure.
A lot of relationships have gone up and down during that time. I'm willing to make it work if she is. We'll see how it goes. I mean, this cruise could be a disaster. I mean, I know the whole band's betting that it will be. That this picture you see here, this is going to be me escaping the monsters of rock cruise. Get me out of here!
Well, here I'm gonna send a direct message directly to your girl. Directly to your girl. Susan, do you see this photo right here? Do you see it? Look real close, because I'm gonna tell you something. Erik had nothing to do with taking that photo. He wasn't there when it was taken. I'm betting this photo was taken 4 or 5 years ago, before
Agreed.
the week ago when you met her or whatever. Yep. You met her for 2 hours, so it's not like you snuck off to some room to fucking shag her.
Right.
And anything that you found is old history. That's not your history.
Bingo. Yeah. And I'm not used to judge her. Another thing I said is like, hey man, you'd be surprised. Most actresses, you know, if you dig deep enough, have done nude stuff, or they've,
of course,
you know, come on, man. That's how it works. And, you know, what's scary is like her daughter just graduated acting college, you know, in Oklahoma. She's gonna have to start trying to find acting work and stuff. And there is a budding scene for acting there, as we know. They filmed Tulsa there, right? But right. She's probably gonna have to put, you know, provocative photos up there to get parts to show that she can. I can look sexy too. I can look frumpy. I can look sexy. You show every possibility you have to up the chances that you're gonna get cast.
Look
for something, right? I mean,
for damn near. Look, I'm a porn hound. I'll just say it point blank, you know, and that may not ingratiate me with your girl, but whatever. I love porn. I am the king of finding porn, and I love celebrity porn.
Okay.
Any famous, the number of famous actresses, and I mean famous on any level, and I don't only mean the Scarlett Johanssons, the big ones. Right. I mean, I don't know who the biggest actress is right now, but she's one of them. Wouldn't you say? Do you agree?
Yeah,
she's
definitely.
I'm talking about the mid-levels, the Alyssa Milanos, the I don't know who else, but the casual actresses.
Right.
If you type in their name and the word fappening, you can find early films that they all did.
That was
FAPPENING. It's just a slang word for jerking off.
Okay.
And that's really what it means is, you know, if you're jerking off, you're fapping. You know, it's just it's a slang word. And of course I know that because
I thought that was only when girls do it. That's what it's called.
No, that's flappening.
Like we're jerking it and they're flapping the mud flaps.
Yeah, they're flappening. But no, it's called fappening. So if but with rare exception, will you find famous actress that has not done at least provocative stuff.
At least boudoir kind of stuff.
And most of them have done shitty movies before they were famous. You know, Alyssa Milano with like Embrace of the Vampire and shit like that. Shitty movie, probably cost $100,000 to shoot. But yeah, the big draw to it was that there's a scene where the vampire rips her shirt off and fucking bites her tits.
Yeah, you know? Like, would you get mad if Elvira asked me to be in a video? I mean, she's done hardcore stuff in the 60s.
All of them have. That's what I'm saying. Scarlett Johansson is one of the most famous women in the world right now. And you can easily find 15, 16 photos of her and some photos and some actual video of her. You know, Rihanna, fucking Pamela Anderson. Forget. I mean, obviously Pamela Anderson did a lot of Playboy and shit like that.
Right.
Before she got super famous, before she became super famous, Pamela Anderson, she did one of the most provocative movies of all time that nobody remembers because it's a bad B movie called Naked Souls.
Okay.
Where she's like all naked and they're pouring fucking
wax?
What do you call it? Not wax, but
pee-pee?
that you make vases out of.
Clay or
clay. It's like soft clay, and then just mushing it on her tits. You know, it's almost an adult level movie. You know, I mean, it's almost an X-rated. It's
so that movie was mushy.
Naked Souls, Naked Souls. It's one of my favorites.
Okay,
you know, but Naked Souls is another one, and then she had another one. I don't remember what the name of that one was, where she gets fucked into a fence, where her tits are fucking pushed into a fence. Yeah, like her tits are pushing into the fence, like a chain link fence. I'm all about the porn. I love it.
Well, what I ended up having to do is basically block. I had to block her so I could like play this gig. I think I had checked in at some point after the show and the spamming of the pictures started again. I was like, God damn it. So I had to block her again. And now one thing I learned is I do always drive myself to the airport now because I can't have that. You find your own way home bullshit, right? No. So like now I do have my own way home just in case, you know.
Yeah.
And so anyways, but what's funny about she and I, we have the worst text wars ever. But like when we get back, we actually pretend like nothing happened, which is weird, right? So like, but we came back. We ended up hanging out for a bit. We went to the grocery store. We picked up some supplies of food and drinks and stuff to make dinner, you know, later. The sun came out.
Okay.
So it's actually beautiful out. So we go to our little beautiful deck that I know people have seen my photos that we have, and we're like enjoying. Now, the building we live in is a vacation building. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, one thing I forgot to mention, this is going to come up later as a very important part of the story.
Sure.
Now, Susan doesn't like to park in her space when we pick up groceries. She insists on going to the fire lane of the building. Like we're in a parking garage, but the door that we take to walk up the stairs, she'll park right in front of that to unload the groceries. So we unloaded now forget about that for a while. So we unload the groceries. Right. We have some drinks. We're sitting outside this vacation building. It's spring break. Okay. It sounds like there's some young people that maybe are staying upstairs. Right. Or it's this weird guy we saw when we were bringing the groceries in, because I was like carrying cat litter. I had a fucking litter pan. We had a bag of food. And this one weird dude's all, "Well, you have a cat or something?" And some guy that was like walking up, and I didn't even answer him. I'm like, that's the stupidest fucking question. I'm not even going to fucking answer it. But anyway,
no, dick, I got an oil spill in my bathroom.
Right? Like, I don't want to fucking answer that. So anyways, I don't know if he was the guy that was upstairs. So he was walking up there. If maybe he was a guy who had some younger people with him or what the fuck. But I could hear some stuff going on the balcony. I don't care. We're used to that kind of shit, especially in the summertime. But our cat, Charlie cat, if you could please bring up the photo. This is our beloved Turkish fan, Charlie. Okay, female named Charlie, but I love this cat. This cat has grown on me so much, and she's so sweet and cool. Like, but she loves to go out on the roof that we have. Like, so when Susan and I were out there, she ran out there, which is the most adorable thing, and she runs around. Well, the dudes upstairs, you hear somebody go, "Hey, look, it's a cat!" You know, hey, kitty, kitty, and they start, you know, you hear that shit starting, right? And I go, "Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this," and so I start calling her. I'm all, "Charlie, come back, you know, come back over here." And if I act like I'm going to jump over the fence, she'll actually come running back. So I did that because I don't even like them seeing that I have a cat and giving attention. Sure. It was startling the cat a little. So she started running back, and right as she's about to come back under the fence, I see this ice cube come flying down like it was thrown at my cat, right?
Right.
And man, I fucking like lost it for a second, like honestly, because you're probably the same way. Like, we're just not the kind of people you want to do that with. We're the wrong fucking people.
I'm not a pet guy. I'm not a pet guy, but if I had a pet and you threw something at it, you're fucking, we're gonna fight.
Right, exactly. But now I have it in my head that I'm like, no, technically I'm not on the lease here. I'm like, I give Susan my money, so I'm technically I live here according to the law. Like they have to do an eviction process. My mail comes here. I paid money and stuff. Yeah. There's some California rights I have, of course, but technically with this building, I'm not exactly. Right, I have to keep that in mind. I don't want to lose this place. I don't want to like do something. So I'm trying to be sensible. And
you don't want her to lose the place either. They could easily throw her out because you act up.
Sure. Right. But it is my way to go and act up real bad. And I don't care how many people there are up there. I'll fucking I'll come up there and I'll fight every fucking one of you right away. So first thing I was just like, hey, I'm like, don't be throwing shit in my cat, motherfucker. That was like, and I think like everybody on the beach like looked up look at that moment
because you were louder than you thought you were being.
I think, I was like, I did a funny voice there, but I was like, I don't want to do it right now. Be all loud and shit. But all of a sudden I heard the sliding door open up there and like they all fucking like ran back in their fucking house or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it's funny because promoting the show today, I was looking for something. I'm always looking for a new character, and
sure,
I found something that was kind of funny, and it's a new character that I want to
flesh out first.
Introduce to you, and he kind of wants to kind of.
Let me make you full screen here. Wham! There you go.
Hey, Chris, I'm Sonny. I'm Sonny, the murderous rampaging bear.
What is wrong?
It's so nice to meet you. I get brought in to do all the dirty work. Like if you need somebody taken care of, I'm the perfect guy for it. I just want you to know you can call me anytime.
Awesome, Sonny.
They'll think they have a nice bear there. As soon as the whole family goes to sleep, I'll go on a murderous rampage and kill them all for you.
You're an I don't care bear.
But I do care. I care about you, Chris. In fact, I have a song I would like to sing for you.
Oh, no. Okay.
Are you ready?
Go ahead. Good Lord.
That's right, Chris Akin.
That's right. I'm so honored. I'm so honored.
So, from this point now, I'm really fucking agitated because I got no sleep as I mentioned the night before. So I'm fucking pissed. Now I'm starting to go into my lunatic mode where I'm like, okay, I think I am going to go up there and I think I am going to fucking beat that guy to death right now. But then I'm like, okay, calm down. It was an ice cube and it was thrown not very well. Like it was in the cat's direction, but hold on. And you did your thing and they didn't whatever back. And Susan was trying to get me to calm down and shit. I'm like, okay, hold it together. So then we just kind of drank some more and, they got actually really quiet up there. So that was a bonus because they were stomping around earlier and now they kind of lightened up and shit.
Sure. Maybe
they were also worried they were going to get thrown out and lose their deposit because they're just renting the place for a few days or a day or whatever up there.
Right.
So anyways, we try to have a good dinner and kind of move forward and watch TV and shit. And we end up going to bed. I knew I missed a whole night's sleep, so I'm fucking exhausted. I'm looking forward to finally getting to bed after a long trip and all this shit.
Sure.
So we go to sleep and I'm asleep for about, 2 or 3 hours. It's like midnight. All of a sudden this fucking rapping at the door. Goosh, 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 goosh. And I was like, did you fucking hear that? And she's all, yes. And I'm like, I'm thinking, was somebody have like the wrong door? And then all of a sudden, again, like, gosh, 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 gosh. And I'm like, what the fuck? And
What time is this?
This
What
is like
time is this?
midnight. This is like
Okay.
at midnight, dude. And I'm like, so I like, and I only had my gay shorts there, which was kind of sucky. Like, I have different kinds of shorts, so some are cooler than others. And these were like some kind of like short.
These are like Richard Simmons shorts.
Yes, they were like little like Adidas shorts. Like 1975. So like I throw those on really quick, and I'm like, and I'm in my mind, you know, I'm thinking it's the guys from upstairs. They're drunk now, right. And they want to fucking see what the fuck I was saying earlier. You know, they're gonna call me out. I don't know why. I'm like half asleep, and I'm just like, I don't know why I was thinking that for some reason, but I go, fuck it. They want to go, or go right fucking now, because that's you saw Char the cat. That's no. You don't play. That's like my kid, man. I don't have children. That'd be like for people that have small kids. If you saw some young punk throw something at your kid, you know what I mean? That's like exactly how mad I was about it. So anyways, I'm ready and I look, so I get to the people, I look, it's our security.
Okay.
From the building. Now I'm thinking, because I overthink everything. Now I'm thinking they were scared and told on me.
Okay.
And so when I open the door, I'm actually trying to be really nice at first. I go,
sure.
I go, yes, sir.
What's going on?
What's going on, officer? Like, and I'd be like nice. He's like, you got a car parked in the fire lane down there. Are you out of your mind? And he's just like, he starts yelling at me. Susan never fucking moved her car. She never went down, and she left her car totally blocking the door. It's like a full fire lane right there.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, for the residents here, you have like a special sticker that they can actually identify the car and like tell you that, you know, the unit. But it was just funny that he had waited, like he wasn't doing his fucking job. 5 hours had gone by, and you know,
he was sleeping. He was sleeping in his booth.
Exactly. So when he finally did, he was just like, what the fuck is going on here? Who are there? How do you do? You know, you can't park there. It was like, really? We can't? Really? We can't just park in front of the door, the emergency exit? Really? That's amazing, man. Thanks for letting us know that. No, obviously,
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize those stripes in front that say "Do not park" meant "Don't park here."
Yeah,
sorry.
It was, you know. But I'm listening to him. I'm like, I can't believe. And I'm like, okay. I'm thinking if I'm nice to him, maybe he's not going to give her a ticket, because when we fuck up and don't move our cars or anything like that, it's like a $50 ticket that we have to pay to the HOA or whatever.
Right.
So I'm thinking I'm going to be nice to him. So I go, oh, I'll have her move it immediately. And he's like, yes. And he ends up saying, oh, you know, I'm going to have to fine you for this, you know? And I was like, fuck. He's like, I was trying to tow it, but you know, we have to call first. He was like, this guy's like, I've never seen him before either. He was like, he was like a fucking Vietnam vet.
It's probably the guy that threw the ice cube a couple hours earlier.
No, this guy was like, he was like, hey, see, you can't be parking there. See, it was like, this guy was like 70 years old or something.
Get off my lawn, guy.
Kind of, yeah. And I'm like, you know, I didn't, never seen him. He's obviously taking his shit way too fucking seriously. You know
hey, hippie with the weird haircut.
Yeah, there was
move your car.
He's like, oh yeah, sure. These fucking drugged out fucking hillbillies. So anyways, I go, okay, she'll go down, and I go, Susan, I'm like, you got to move your car. So she's getting her stuff on. She knew she fucked up, but I'm not going to make it worse for her. She knew she fucked up, and I'm not paying that shit. She is. So she goes down and moves her car. So we go back to bed. Okay. Another hour goes by. All of a sudden, gosh. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Yeah. And fucking she goes to answer it this time. It's the same fucking clown again. Right.
Here's your ticket.
He goes, I told you to move the car, and you go and you move it to some other person's space. And he starts yelling at her fist. Now, this is not what occurred. She had actually moved the car and put it in her space. And I think that because a call came over that somebody had parked in somebody's space, he assumed it was us idiots. You know, just
what a dick.
Yeah, he's banging on a door like, you know, and I just couldn't fucking believe it. So, you know, I hear her trying to like, you know, reason with this guy, you know what I mean? At the door. This is very bizarre behavior, by the way, for a security guy here. Most of them don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But anyways, this guy was all hyped up about it. And she goes, look, I could go down there and show you where I parked. And he's like, and what's your space number? And she's like telling him our space number. And he's like, okay, well, I guess, what about the gentleman there? Where's he parked? You know, and it was, and I go, hey, and I'm like, I gotta, you know, I'm describing my car. I'm like, I'm parked in a damn, you know, guest space. I got a sticker. It's on the way lower level. He's like, all right, well, I guess, you know, okay. well, I'm still gonna fine you for that earlier thing. And
all right,
what
asshole.
a fucking fuckface, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna fine you for my lack of sleep, you cocksucker.
Yeah. So the next day, I go out to my car. They called me in to do flowers or whatever. I'm like, fuck. So I go out to my car, and there's a sticker and a warning on there. This motherfucker put a warning on my car.
On your car?
My car, saying you can't return to the same parking space within 24 hours without moving to another space and all this. Now, what this fuckface doesn't realize is I was in goddamn Tucson, Arizona. My shit was at Wally Park. So I had come back. It had not even been 24 hours. And I wasn't even here before that. So this guy's like, is obviously an idiot. Then I look further and they write the space number that you violated. He put the wrong fucking space number. He put the space number of some other truck that was like next door. I did nothing wrong. You know what I mean? I was totally fine. Still had about 2 hours left on the clock. So this guy's putting now warnings on my car, and I go, great. Now we're on this guy's fucking shit list. But if I see him, I'm going to tell him off. Because you think you did one thing for a gold star, motherfucker. Well, then you did two fucked up things, and as far as my math goes, now you're -1.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, you got us. We fucked up and left the car. You got your thing. Then you came back and accused us of putting it in the wrong place. Now you fucked up. So that negated your fucking first thing. Then you just fucked up and wrote up a full-blown warning on my car. Didn't even have the right car. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? That's not this isn't the place for you to work. Dude.
Yeah, beat it, mall cop. Get the fuck out of here. He's not a real cop. He's a fucking mall cop.
I don't know what the fuck he was.
He's not a real cop. He's he's security for your HOA.
I'm security. Security, will you listen to my commands?
Yeah, he's a guy that got fired by the real cops.
Eric Cartman on South Park. I'm security. Fuck, man. It was ridiculous. It was the weirdest fucking weekend. Between the guys throwing the ice, the fucking security guy, like seriously. So you didn't see it today, but I did a cool like reel on Facebook,
right?
That I used Sonny the murderous rampaging bear, and I like because I always try to think of something to promote the show. And what's cool is like this guy could actually hold something, and I stuck a fucking big kitchen knife in there and put a bunch of goddamn ketchup all over it.
That's funny. Nice.
Like a bloody knife. And I was like, we're going to be back with another CHRIS Akins Presents.
Yeah. You might die if you watch it.
Well, I was feeling like that because I am like on a murderous rampage. You know what I mean? I thought about it,